A very busy day in the WMBF newsroom as we honor and remember Sergeant Terrence Caraway. We're bringing you team coverage from Florence, where thousands gathered to honor the fallen officer. Plus, a jury selected in the trial against Tammy Moore. The new developments from the courtroom as her kidnapping trial is set to begin. Also at 6, bond denied for the man accused of shooting and killing a man during a bar fight at Riptides. We're also hearing from a close friend of the victim who says she is still in shock after this senseless act of violence.
And Michael, growing to a powerful hurricane in the Gulf. The latest impact forecast for our area less than a minute away.
The WMBF News at 6 starts right now.
Live, local, late breaking. This is WMBF News at 6.
Good evening to you. Thanks for joining us for WMBF News at 6 o'clock on a very busy day in our newsroom. I'm Eric Weisfeld, my co-anchor Meredith Heline. Anchoring from the field tonight, she's been at Sergeant Terrence Caraway's funeral all day. We're going to have team coverage from Florence in just about 2 minutes. First, though, tonight, Hurricane Michael in the Gulf threatening the Florida Panhandle and set to bring tropical storm impacts as it passes through the already hurting Carolinas. As people continue to recover after Florence, Chief Meteorologist Jamie Arnold breaking down the impacts we'll feel in the Grand Strand and the PD. We should point out those impacts, Jamie, though, nothing like Florence.
Yeah, a huge difference across.
Badge 272, Florence County Central Dispatch.
Last Wednesday, many of you got to know my friend, Terrence Caraway. Somebody called him a hero for what he did. He was, but more important, he was a hero long before last Wednesday.
Sergeant Terrence Caraway, Badge 272, Florence County Central Dispatch.
More than just a father or a father figure, more than just a mentor or someone you look up to, more than just a police officer, he was a legend.
Cruiser 1 Central Dispatch. We're receiving no response from Cruiser 2, Badge 272.
Rest in peace, 272, Sergeant Terrence Caraway. Your brothers and sisters in blue have it from here. We love you, Sergeant Terrence Caraway.
An officer, a coach, a father, a husband, and a friend. A sad day for so many as Sergeant Terrence Caraway, who was shot and killed in last week's ambush on law enforcement in Florence County, was laid to rest. Our coverage continues on WMBF News at 6 now from Florence. That's where we find my co-anchor Meredith Heline tonight after a day of honoring and remembering the life of a hero. Meredith?
Good evening, Eric, and that's exactly what kind of day it was. This parking lot here at the Florence Center was packed today as thousands of people went into the Florence Center to honor Sergeant Terrence Caraway. His visitation, his public viewing started at 9 o'clock this morning. It was followed at noon with a funeral service, and we've been here all day. We had a live show at 11 o'clock today, and even more of you watched from home, watching that show as people who didn't even know him, friends, family, co-workers, law enforcement from across the state, across the country came here to honor their fallen comrade. Now we have team coverage tonight from across the area. We start with Nia Watson. She's live at the Florence Memorial Gardens. That's where Sergeant Caraway was laid to rest just a short time ago. Aaron Edwards live at the Florence Center with testimony on how Terrence Caraway changed kids' lives for the better through his service as a coach and mentor. And we have Patrick Lloyd, who is also at the funeral today, with a powerful message that his friends had to say as to who he was as a person. And Patrick Lloyd is kicking off our team coverage tonight at 6.
Live in Florence, Patrick Lloyd, WMBF News.
And friends, family, fellow officers followed the Caraway motorcade from the Florence Center here to the Florence Memorial Gardens. That's where he was buried today, surrounded by family and friends, and that's where Nia Watson is live now. Good evening, Nia.
Live in Florence, Nia Watson at WMBF News.
And you just heard Nia say it, mentor. We've heard Terrence Caraway described so many times as a mentor, a coach, and a friend. And Aaron Edwards is live in the Florence Center now with more on how he was a coach and a mentor and how he impacted people, not just because of his uniform and the leadership he had as a police officer, but also how he impacted kids across the PD as a coach and mentor. Aaron.
Reporting live in Florence, Aaron Edwards, WMBF News.
And that wraps up our team coverage right now at 6. We'll be back here at 7 with more on everything that happened today and what we've learned about Sergeant Terrence Caraway. I'm Meredith Heline. Back to you in the studio, Eric.